wake up the world. We're just boys and girls. He can still wake up the world. We're just boys and girls. He can still wake up the world. We're just boys and girls. He can still wake up the world.
Welcome back to Wake the World Up. Today, we're going to check out a story about Ruth. Ruth's story includes a word that may be new to some of you, redeemer. A redeemer is a rescuer, a promise fulfiller. Keep that in your brain while you check out this story.
Naomi's family members were Israelites, but there was not enough food for everyone in the Promised Land. Naomi, her husband, her 2 sons, and their wives decided to leave and go to Moab, where they could find some food. When they got there, Naomi's husband and her sons died. So she had a choice to make. She could stay in Moab or go home to the Promised Land. They decided to go home to the Promised Land. God's people had food there now. Naomi's daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah, had a choice too. They could stay with Naomi or go home with their parents. Orpah decided to go home to her parents, and Ruth decided to stay with Naomi. Ruth said, "Where you go, I will go, and wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." So Naomi and Ruth went back to Judah, the Promised Land. Ruth and Naomi needed food, so Ruth went to a field to gather the leftover grain. The field was owned by a man named Boaz. Boaz saw Ruth working, and he had a choice to make. He could kick Ruth out of the field, or he could allow her to stay and collect grain. He had heard how kind Ruth was to Naomi, and he told her that she could continue to pick up the leftover grain. Ruth took grain home to Naomi and told her about Boaz. Naomi told her that Boaz was a close family relative and he was their family redeemer. A family redeemer was someone who helped relatives when they needed help. Naomi knew that Boaz would make a good husband for Ruth, so she made a plan for Ruth. She gave Ruth special instructions. Ruth had a choice to make. She could follow Naomi's instructions and trust her plan, or she could say no and just keep going on as usual. Ruth followed Naomi's special instructions to show Boaz that she hoped he would marry her. She went to him in her best clothes and laid down at his feet. Boaz had a choice to make. He could tell her to go home and just be thankful that he let her pick up grain in his fields, or he could marry her and be the family redeemer. So Boaz stood before the people and made an agreement to marry Ruth and care for Naomi and her family. Later, Ruth and Boaz had a son named Obed, and when Obed grew up, he was the father of Jesse, and Jesse was the father of King David.
Boaz was a family redeemer. He rescued his relatives, but Jesus is our redeemer. He paid the price for our sin by dying on the cross. He offers us the free gift of eternal life with God. Romans 6:23 says the payment for sin is death, but God gives us the free gift of life forever in Jesus. Don't just sit there. Go wake the world up.